Monocle's much-awaited Travel Top 50 is out. Over the course of the year, our editors have taken note of the aviation high flyers, finest hotel openings, and service stars the world over. Here's a sneak peek at 25 favourites that made it onto this year's list.
The restaurant in Murano's Ottman Gut Hotel is the place to start your day. Frühstück comes à la carte, and most of the ingredients come from the fields of South Tyrol and the hotel's own orangery. The garden is a great spot in which to sip a cappuccino while leafing through a selection of magazines and papers.
Lisbon's Hotel Ritz is one noteworthy exception, opened in 1959 and has survived the decades intact. The Portuguese art and classic French furniture are redolent of another age. Rather than instigate any major renovations, the management has contented itself with simple additions, such as bouquets of fresh orchids hanging from the ceiling. Apart from a new spa that opened in 2003 and a rooftop running track with superb views, Four Seasons has had the good sense to leave this beauty be.
Cathay Pacific's standard-raising lounge, designed by London-based studio Ilse, has finally touched down in Singapore. Crawford's now familiar warm and homely cherrywood panelling comes with views over the concourse, a winning combination for weary souls. Regular flyers around the region will be glad to hear that the lounge rollout, already in Manila, Taipei and Bangkok, is set to continue. Shanghai and Seoul are up next.
On the North Fork of Long Island in New York, Eric Warner, the co-founder of hospitality firm Eagle Point, has refurbished the Soundview Motel with breathtaking results. Motels may be synonymous with dank rooms and dire service, but Soundview proves they can be repurposed.
The recently opened Atlas Bar by architect firm Hassel is a pastiche of styles partly inspired by the Art Deco friezes in London's Battery Power Station. The renovated space is now home to more than 1,000 bottles of gin, but the jaw-dropping scale and ambition of the gilt-cover bar is the star attraction.
At the estate on the shores of Lake Garda, staff deliver pinpoint service that allows guests the freedom to enjoy the villa's sprawling grounds. Upon arrival, there's no check-in process, only an ornate hall, and meals can be taken wherever, whenever. It's no wonder that vacancies for its 20 guest rooms and cottages are hard to come by.
The Canadian-built Bombardier C Series, first flown commercially by Swiss International Airlines, has made its mark since its introduction last year. Passengers applaud the wider aisles, higher ceilings, and well-appointed interior. We're also keen on the jet's longer range, as well as its ability to take off and land quietly on shorter runways.
Rudy Kuhl has worked his way up from waiter to feted hospitality entrepreneur. Kuhl joined forces with Albert Weinzel to launch a number of big hitters in the Bavarian capital, including Brenner, which is always on point with the tables buffed and weighted to a standard only Kuhl can muster.
This smart 38-room affair in the Catskill Mountains transplants something of New York's vim and vitality to its resolutely bucolic surroundings. The cozy rooms may be fitted with gas-burning fireplaces, but modern touches from Brooklyn-based studio Tack make for considered additions, all of which combines to make for rustic but refined and lovely yet lively lodgings.
A total of 86 pieces make up Delta Airlines' new in-flight tableware range developed by Italian brand Alessi. It goes well beyond the usual remit of crockery and cutlery to include carafes, cocktail mixers and miso bowls.
The century-old property has seen discreet renovations undertaken by Basel practice Miller & Maranta. An inviting fumoir with comfy leather armchairs and a wood-panelled bar is great for holding up during a cold snap. The architects recently added a modern spa sunk into a forested hillside. The relaxation area is clad in glass mosaic tiles and lit by skylights which change colour with the light.
Opened in May in Shibuya, this 15-room hotel partnered a raft of local independent businesses to create a smile-inducing minibar lineup. After a long day, you can kick back with a bottle of fine Japanese wine by Fujimaru Winery and a cheeky chocolate bar by Minimal.
The man behind this welcome new spot on Norfolk Square is Jason Katifeoglu, a former partner at Zeta Group. Working with Sheffield design agency 93 Feet, the finishes here reveal the care that's gone into the Pilgrim's refit. The rooms feature custom steel-worked fittings, lamps salvaged from a former hospital, and some of the comfiest beds you'll sleep in. The bar is lively without being brash, and the cafe is an appealing nook in which to breakfast.
Business travellers shuttling back and forth from Milan to Rome can now zip between the two cities aboard the high-speed Frecciarossa 1000. In the lead compartment, the train's executive class offers comfy champagne-hued leather armchairs that recline and swivel 180 degrees, so you can always opt to face the direction of travel.
Nobis settled on Stockholm's former Royal Danish Academy of Music for its 5th hotel and first foray into Sweden. The interiors are by Swedish firm Vingards, with lighting by Vestberg and carpets by Kastal. The staircase is also an elevating feat of refurbishment.
Scarf's Bar at the Rosewood Hotel on High Holborn is an unparalleled spot for cozying up with a contact and an after-hours cocktail. Named after British caricaturist Gerald Scarfe, it features more than 70 of the master's satirical sketches. The shelves are packed with books and mysterious bottles. The seats are velvety, the mood convivial, and the drinks delectable.
The recently revamped E-Gate lounges at the long-haul departure terminal in Zurich are a good reason to arrive promptly. Featuring oak flooring and Vitra furniture, there's a choice of more than 120 whiskies and 1,000 wines nestled in sleekly designed cabinets. Make sure to leave time to trace the peaks of the far-off mountains from the vast outdoor terrace that overlooks runway 28.
There's a near-constant trickle of sandy surfers moving between Batu Bolong Beach and the Slow Hotel. Owner George Goro's comely custom touches, from couches made using Indonesian military tents to hand-woven seagrass rugs, are as hardy and sand-resistant as they are beautiful. A changing roster of artwork and music programs add life to the gallery-like living room.
After lying unused for decades, this elegant 19th century building is finally seeing some foot traffic thanks to Bohème. Architecture practice Guido Luigi Ferrari and interior designer Ernesto Pini have brought terrazzo floor tiles back to life, while new furnishings conjure up the atmosphere of a 1920s dining room.
Adrian Zecca, founder of Amman Resorts, has made a remarkably quiet return to the hotel world. His Azarai brand's 53-room French colonial estate has opened in pretty Luang Prabang in Laos. Zecca has stuck close to his longtime design principles and Southeast Asian roots, and the property bears witness to the master's detail-oriented approach.
The Fleming Hotel has reopened after a 16-month renovation. One of the first things you notice on arrival at the new look hotel is that the lobby is now upstairs. It overlooks the hotel's Italian restaurant operated by the Black Sheep Group, which now occupies the whole ground floor and has become the centre of the hotel.
Will this hardy 4x4 prove to have been the last of the rugged road-goers in an era of smaller, curvier compacts? Well, of late, the motoring trade press has been rife with talk of a relaunch for the vehicle, slated for 2018.
The 5-story, 172-room hotel was built in the 18th century. Now, the suave Rivière restaurant and Jacques Bar attract cool customers, and the airy lobby gets as many dapper walkthroughs as a Parisian catwalk. There's been no skimping on looks. Think reclaimed parquet floors and wall panelling, thanks to Monaco's Humbert and Poirier.
Japan's second city is a dizzy place. A good spot to enjoy the view is the restaurant on the 40th floor of its newest tower, 200 meters up. It has floor-to-ceiling windows that overlook the Yodo River, surrounding mountain range, and the Nakanoshima neighborhood laid out below. It's worth watching what's going on inside as well, as chefs prep breakfast buffets and waiters ferry kimchi and tofu dishes from counter to tabletop.
Located at the foot of the Wetterstein Mountains, Schloss Elmau offers a spectacular snapshot of the Bavarian Alps. The stately 100-year-old home has been used as a guest house for most of its history, and notably for the G7 in 2015. Expansions in recent years have added a vast concert hall and a lobby library, the best place to take in the considerable charms of this best-in-class Bavarian beauty.
You can reference this year's complete Travel Top 50 in the December-January issue of Monocle.